to Flosstubes Stitch-a-Long. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Allison.
And this is a channel about cross-stitch. Today is a Flosstube Extra, which is where we talk about something we don't have time to talk about in a normal video. Today we are going to do a finish parade, and it is like a 98% FFO'd parade because we literally are carting everything here to the state fair with like a few minor exceptions that we'll mention as we go.
Yeah.
Right after. So we thought.
And 90% of this was FFO'd within the last 2 weeks.
And some of it this morning.
Some of it this morning, some of it 10 minutes
ago. So we'll talk about, for each piece, we'll talk about like what it is and the fabric and everything, but we'll also talk a little bit about the FFO process. I don't think it'll be a question of which ones were professionally framed and which ones were framed.
This was all very new to both of us. We're not finishers. We watched tutorials and we learned a lot.
I will continue to watch tutorials.
I need more tutorials.
Recreationally,
yes.
And I will not be doing some of the stuff ever again.
And we will be making a budget for what gets framed.
Yeah. On a more ongoing
regular
basis. Yeah.
Yes.
And also I'm not gonna save it all for like
the 2 weeks before the fair.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
It was not our best move. It was it ended up being fine because I'm like a real adrenaline like deadline person.
Yeah.
But I just need to have the deadline be the next Flosstube. Like whatever Flosstube I finish it, the deadline needs to be like 1 to 2 Flosstubes later for me, not
this.
Yeah. Because I also was stitching up until Thursday night.
I was trying to, but mostly just worrying about finishing.
So we're very excited for today. We have 3 kinds of videos on our channel. If you found us from a different kind of video, you might be like, what is this? So this is the Flosstube Extra. Finish parades are something that are pretty common. A lot of channels do them. We also do regular Flosstube episodes where we go like do huge overviews into our personal stitching. Those come out every other Monday. These come out on the in-between weeks. But we'll also pick topics like multi-project versus monogamous stitcher or
the most expensive part.
Yeah, you might have found us from the most expensive cross-stitch series. So these are fun. And then on Thursdays, we come out with short beginner tutorials mostly for people who buy patterns in our Etsy shop. And some of the finishes, a lot of the professional finishes you'll see today are things that I model stitch.
Yeah.
So those patterns are up in our Etsy shop, and those videos are for anyone, but like that I want to be able to eventually say like, here's a whole list if you want to just go get started.
Yeah.
Last week we didn't have a tutorial though because we had an overview on the book that just came out, Magickal Cross-Stitch.
I hope you watched it. It was so good.
The book's really good, and we are going to start something from it.
Yeah.
Won't be finishing or FFOing anytime soon, but we are going to start something from it together next month. So not
the same one.
Yeah, we're going to do like, and also Pinkie Stitchy is doing a one on the familiar. She's doing a Stitch-a-Long just for that specific pattern.
Oh, okay.
So if you love that pattern, you can join both. If you want to do a different pattern, we're going to do one for like anything.
General. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're going to divide up today's video into 2 parts, partially because we do have almost 50 pieces.
There's a lot.
So it is of things that, and this is only finishes we have done in the last year. So we started Flosstube about a year ago. We will celebrate our Flosstube anniversary in a couple weeks. And this is all the things we have finished since Flosstube started. We started our Flosstube, not the concept of Flosstube.
1 calendar year.
So this is 1 calendar year, but we do, Allison is a real project stitcher and really pushes for those finishes. And that has also made me want to finish more things too. So we have a lot of pieces. So we are going to split it up into 2. And also because I'm going to be going on a little late summer vacation, and so we figured split this up into 2. So this will come out. First part is coming out when you're seeing it. The next part will come out the immediate next Monday, and then when we get back, we'll have a full Flosstube where we do celebrate our 1-year Flosstube anniversary, and we'll have some fun giveaways on that video.
Yay!
So if you are not subscribed, subscribe for all of those types of things that you can expect in your feed. All right, Allison.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
So we both have a piece that we have finished stitching since the last Flosstube episode. So we thought we'd start out with those first because no one has seen those finished yet, except maybe on Instagram.
I think I showed this on the last Flosstube. It just wasn't.
It wasn't finished.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't finished.
Oh, okay.
Was it?
I think it was finished.
It was finished. Okay. Well, I finished one thing 2 days ago. Okay.
But,
all right.
But this is FFO'd for the first time.
Ooh.
Ta-da. This is, because I pronounced it wrong last time. This is Peacock Pincushion.
People loved it.
Well,
because they were like, "Oh yeah, you guys are definitely sisters."
We're so sisters. Yeah. So I did pronounce it wrong. So that's
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Pincushion. That I didn't turn into a pincushion because I thought it was too big.
Gorgeous.
So Beck's Men.
Who has a Flosstube?
Whose Flosstube is great, and you should go check her out. She sent us this framing hoop that's just absolutely
Totally
perfect.
random that we happened to get it at the same time, and Allison was like, "What do I finish this in?" And I was like holding a thing of vintage hoops, like
how
so.
perfect. did that
She
turn
runs
out?
estate sales. If you don't follow her
thanks
channel,
so
it's a cross-stitch Flosstube, but she runs estate sales, and so occasionally she comes across like fun, crafty
Really
things.
cool. Like, look at that. It's rubber, but like, look at
But
that
it
wood.
looks, yeah, it looks
effect.
great.
Oh, it's great.
It looks so good.
So that's
And
that.
I'm gonna be
one.
borrowing that pattern.
Yeah, you can have the pattern. Totally yours.
I'm very excited about it. Yeah, it looks so good.
So cool.
Okay, so
I'm
Allison,
super excited.
what's
Turned
it
out
stitched
great.
on?
Okay, so this is stitched on 32 count natural linen, raw natural linen, and it's used all the called for DMCs, but I substituted the called for Weeks Dye Works with DMC 924.
Looks great.
I didn't want to
wouldn't
buy
even know.
just one.
Well, and also like, what is that? This
It's
blue?
the dark blue.
Yeah,
the
that
dark
makes
blue
sense
is
that
like
they would use
variegated.
the one,
but I didn't think
it looks
needed
great.
Yeah.
I love how you finished it too.
Thank you. This was just like, it was just like meant to be.
It looks so good.
Thank you.
And Allison was
you
like,
can show the back, but the back.
she was worried about how the back looks, but I think the back actually looks great. Like, I think it was just funny that I walked in on you finishing it, like frantically sewing it together. But no, it looks great. And I think it looks amazing. And I love the hanger. This is going to look so good on the wall.
I think so too. I'm excited.
Oh, and what category did you? We're not going to say the category every time, but I think we entered it under animals.
Okay.
Our state fair has so many categories, and you can enter 2 things per category. So the things I have entered under the animals category will not be winning.
Well, I'm not one to point out my own mistakes, but this is not chart accurate.
It's beautiful though. It's totally
it works,
beautiful.
but it's not chart accurate.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. I love it. I had a lot of fun stitching.
Are you gonna hang it up in here
really
when you
hard.
get it back?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll look great in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I think it'll look good with all my decor.
So to cart all of my framed and FFO'd pieces over, I cut up a big piece of quilt batting. But because I use quilt batting for finishing cross stitch, like I'll be able to use all these cut up pieces later. But it's still very funny that I have a basket of quilt pieces. Okay, so this is
Oh my God.
the only thing I finished since the last Flosstube that got entered in the fair. I had one more thing I was going to try to do, but it didn't make it.
Oh, that's
So
so
this
good.
this is my pattern, but it was already for sale at our Etsy shop. But I started this for your birthday, which Allison has a princess
January.
birthday stitch-a-long in January. So I started this in January, but this is the biggest cross stitch I've ever finished because it's almost
gorgeous.
16,000 stitches.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
You will notice that framing this was hard.
Framing is hard, guys. It's so hard.
There are 2 stitches visible over here and none over here, and no matter how many times I tried, I could not get it to line up where it was 1 on each side, and I just had to give up out of frustration because it's pinned, and it was like every time I was repinning. Like the top and the bottom I don't care about as much because it's like less important.
Yeah.
I feel like, but it's fine. It's whatever. But
I think it looks great.
this is a thrifted frame. And this is on 14 count white Ada, full coverage, so it doesn't really matter. Except it is showing, but it's fine.
It's fine. Are you gonna get it professionally framed?
No, but I might, if it really bugs me, I might pop it out and do like a 2-stitch border around it and frame it again myself, because I don't think I had a hard time getting it in the frame. It's just like, if it had 3 stitches of like this color blue or something all the way around it, you wouldn't notice that it was like slightly 1 stitch off.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's beautiful.
I think it looks great, and I'm really excited to have it in my office too.
I'm excited for you. That looks so good.
And on our last Flosstube, a copy of this pattern, digital pattern, is the giveaway. So if you want to win a copy of it, go to our last Flosstube and enter. But yeah, this is the first time I finished something in this size pattern that I designed, so it was really
That's exciting.
fun. But I think it looks so good.
It does.
Now I framed it.
Like it looks good in person, but on camera,
It looks really good.
it's so so good.
So it's framed on I pinned it onto foam core, but I used quilt backing, which I really do think it needed.
Yeah.
I really am enjoying using the quilt backing.
I
quilt batting
alternated between doing it and not doing it.
There were a couple I didn't because I got
Me
frustrated,
too.
but what I realized was that I needed to glue the quilt batting onto the foam board an hour before I did it.
Or use the spray adhesive.
Yeah, well,
People say that's
Eileen's.
instant.
I just had Eileen's.
Yeah.
Aleen's. So, but when I did that, when I measured them all yesterday, because the first time I did it, I ended up gluing some things that weren't supposed to be glued. This time I measured my foam board, measured the quilt batting, glued it down, put it aside, worked on something else, and then as these were dry, then I did it.
Good call. It looks great.
But I do like the puffiness of the quilt batting, and that's a tip we got from Two Tall Stitchers. And they said you can even take it, if you're getting something professionally framed, you can even take the quilt batting with you and ask them to put it in
I
there.
had no idea.
And now I have enough quilt batting for
forever.
Yeah. So, I think this is just a big box store frame, but it does match another thrifted frame that I have. So it
looks great.
And the original frame that I wanted for this didn't work. The stuff didn't stay in. So at the back here, it looks fine, right? Mm-hmm. But that one, the stuff didn't stay in. It was really annoying because I bought it for this and then it didn't work. And now I can't take it back because it's like all disassembled and everything. I'll use it for something else, but yeah. All right, so that is my masterpiece.
So good.
And I'm going to be rewrapping these things as we go because otherwise I won't be able to match the size of quilt batting to the picture that it goes with.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just have a giant pile of...
Yeah, I didn't use cushions.
Well, you were here. I had to bring it. I drove it all over here, so...
All right, I'm just going to pull from... I have this big box you saw in the intro. I'm going to just pull from it. So they're all random from now on.
Okay.
All right, this one I did...
Woo!
At the very end of last spooky season.
This is when you were really into I'm going to finish things myself.
Yes.
I think it looks great.
This is the first time I've done this.
This has actually been on her wall all year since last fall.
It's in my
living room. Oh, my Pina Palace is entered in the category of self-charted or original design or whatever. So it's the one I'm hoping actually
It looks so good. It's got a ribbon.
I mean, it will ribbon because...
We don't know.
But I don't know. But that's the one where that's my
really
best
good.
entry in the category that I feel like people don't enter as much as anyway. So.
Yeah. This is from New York Stitcher, I think.
I think it's New York Stitch Works. Well, every pattern will be listed in the...
It's glue because it was...
No, it's Cutter.
Oh, okay. Then get that out.
Yeah.
But it is glued very poorly.
But it's been up for a year. But the category for this is words. And then also every category has an under 11 by 14 or over 11 by 14. So this is words under 11 by 14.
Yeah. And it's just, this is the first time I stitched on Lugana. So this is 25 count Lugana, I believe. And just 310 DMC. But
so good.
I love it. Yeah, I didn't do anything to the back.
So good.
Hopefully nobody looks at the back of their pieces.
We don't know. We
don't know.
If they're looking at the back of these finishes, it doesn't matter.
We're just screwed.
It doesn't matter. Things got real. Things got real.
You have no idea.
Okay.
I have 2 injuries.
I spent an entire night with my hand in hot water, soaking Gorilla Glue off slowly. Guys.
It was a hot mess.
There were so many lessons learned that I will carry with me forever, but some types of finishing I will never do again.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'll go ahead and share this.
I love that one.
So this is
so cute.
Liz Matthews last year in her Patreon did a set of October Quakers, and this is the little one, Boo. And then October Quaker Tree, I'm going to do in the same fabric with the same floss.
Good. You should.
And I'm starting that this October. And they were Patreon last year, but she just released them for the Needlework Marketplace or whatever.
Excellent. It's so cute. I love that finish.
This finish is what you would call a hot mess. Also not what I was gonna do. But and I did just glue some Halloween fabric on the back to hide the black duct tape, but the black duct tape can't be hidden all the way. But if you just put it against the wall and you don't look at it from the side, you can't tell. And I just took a craft store fall ornament thing. Yeah. What I was gonna do was put this on a board and then cover the thing in this fabric, but I didn't realize that this really was too big for that. So then I just glued it on, but then the glue didn't stick because I didn't have, one lesson I learned is that I did not have enough margins on pieces that I thought would be fine, and on pieces where I thought I needed a lot of margin, I had way, way, way too much margin. There was no rhyme or reason. I was either cutting off excess fabric or really worried about all the fabric that I wished I'd had because I didn't have enough at the top. So anyway, that's why I ended up just getting duct tape down, which is fine because this is just going to be...
Some of these have duct tape.
Like for my house, just to put this on like a little, like just like a drawer pulley or a door, like perfect. Mm-hmm. Just don't be like looking at the back.
Just don't look at the back, people.
But I do love it. This is stitched with Bestitch Me silk, and I can't remember the name of it. But I actually think that the silk, I don't think it was supposed to be variegated like that. I think it wasn't dyed all the way through.
You said that at the time.
Because it kind of looks like a sweater. Because I use a lot of Bestitch Me silk, and it doesn't usually white.
But I think that's the sweatery effect. But
I do like it, but I can't remember what it's called. If anybody really wants to know, I'll look it up. But this is Hibiscus by Fiber on a Whim, I think.
It's coming out more deep orange than it is in person.
Yeah, in person it's kind of a light...
More light. It's a little bit lighter than that.
Little tiny bit lighter. But it's still a good Halloween.
It's great.
It's a good for like a muted Quakery
it's
Halloween.
So fall.
And I'm going to do the tree to go with it. And that I will probably frame.
Yeah.
Get framed.
Get framed.
But I do like this. And I have a few more of these because it came in a pack of like 4 or 5. So maybe I'll do other...
Yeah.
Things with them.
Oh, you could do one for spring.
But yeah, I just put it like over here on your little drawer, and that's great. Just don't look at, don't touch it. All right.
Okay. Next, let's do my kitty cat. This is it's called Red Bauble, and it's by December Stitches.
I thought it was Red Bauble Cat.
Is it Red Bauble Cat?
I think so.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I have to, because I write down all the patterns every time, and I have to like curate them. I tend to know things about them even when they're not my projects.
Okay, so it's Red Bauble Cat. I did change up the colors.
I love it.
I put it on a green a green Ada 14 count. It's a really old Ada, so I think Stephanie got it from some
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, something like that.
I love the rickrack.
And then I added it into this little ornament.
I was gonna buy orange rickrack for that. They didn't have any.
I'm not a fan of the rickrack.
I
thought I would be, but it's
I want to get a bag of the Lady Got Crate stuff because I wonder if there is a reason that everyone goes crazy for that kind of rickrack.
Better ones.
And it might just be that the colors are better. I don't know.
Could be.
But
I added beads, and I changed the color of the cat to make him look like my cat Frankie, and I put a little hanger on it. It was so fun to stitch. I love December Stitches. If you haven't stitched one of their designs before, they're so cute.
That orange wizard cat stand up.
It is so adorable.
That's coming out.
Oh, it's so adorable.
I was supposed to be on a live with them this week, and I was so sick. That I had to tell her the night before that I wasn't going to be able to do it because I was so sick, and my daughter was so sick, and she's like 19 months, and I was like, I don't know what tomorrow's going to be like. But I spent every day of this week, except for Friday, after dropping my son off at morning carpool, crashed in my bed or editing. Like the days I had to edit, I edited. But other than that, I was just crashed in my bed the whole time. Like, it was wild.
It was a bad week.
I had to cancel. But I will be on the December Stitches live, hopefully very soon.
So go watch that. I was on it
Instagram.
once. They're the most wonderful group of women. It's 2 sisters too. They're wonderful. I had so much fun stitching this. And I have another one of their pieces fully finished too. That you'll get to see here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, you do? No,
I do.
Of course you do.
I do.
Okay, so I'm taking one from each pile.
Okay.
All right. Okay. This is another hello from Liz Matthews. I actually showed this on our last Flosstube, but I'm trying to go and like mix things up so that these don't end up coming out in a row.
Okay.
So this is Humbug by Hellos from Liz Matthews. Last week when I brought it over here, I was annoyed with it. Now I actually really like it. That is something also I learned is like when I'm FFOing is like FFO and walk away and come back 24 hours later and reassess. And then some things I would still make changes on, and some things I'm like, no, I'm fine. So there's a couple spots where the glue on the quilt batting underneath got in it, and also it'd be great if I found a frame that was 4x4 and I didn't have to deal with the border. But they don't make them.
Don't make them.
So you can at thrift stores find crazy sizes if you're continually looking for things, but This is fine the way it is. I'm happy with it. Last week I was annoyed, but now I'm like, nope, it looks fine. It looks good. I love the frame. I love the piece. It's not perfectly
all of your
framed,
frames
but
are
it's
so
fine.
much better than my frames.
That is a year of being mad at my husband and going into Goodwill's. I'm not even kidding. Friday, I went to like a few stores, and I found some really good frames at the Home Center on Friday.
Okay.
Because I just was like, I didn't want to work, and I consider thrifting part of my work now. Because finding frames to FFO my models is good.
I count all the webinars.
Yeah.
That's work.
So I went to a couple thrift stores, but it's like you have to, like, you might find one or two that are, because like once you know what frames generally look like, then you know what the special ones look like, or the weird shapes or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I do like this frame a lot. This was a $2 Goodwill frame.
It's really cute.
Because it's got like a subtle bit of red in it. Not like a lot, but just a little that sets off the berries, I think, good, but not like a lot. So the back's not pretty, but it's fine. And all of my seasonal stuff will be hanging in my office around the clock. Yeah. I think it's Handwork Maniac that does that. She just puts everything up that she wants in her room, or like seasonal stuff, and then she takes the seasonal stuff out.
I do that with my wreaths for my front door. They're all in my craft room.
So this will be in my office all the time, and then at Christmas I'll take it out. So, but yeah, this was an exclusive for Jingle Ball last year by Hello from Liz Matthews. I am in her Patreon. So weirdly, a lot of the things of hers that I've stitched weren't available at the time, but I believe this one I bet comes out this Christmas.
I hope so. I would like to stitch that.
I would imagine. And the whip that I have that was one of her Patreon pieces is coming out right now too. So a lot of these are coming out.
Very good. Okay, let's do another.
Oh, that was on 28 count Vintage Magnolia by Lakeside Linen, which it was like a scrap. And I used the Call for DMC. And the Call for DMC on that are very Liz Matthews colors. Like every time I go to kit up a Liz Matthews, I am always pulling like 522, 524, those like muted but beautiful greens.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. This is, oh no.
Well, good. Guys, some things were finished this morning.
Hold on. This is one of the duct tape situations.
We're gonna take a break. I know it's, that meme that's like, I hate to see, I know a bucket of fried chicken, hate to see me coming. Like, I know the state fair entry people, I hate to see us coming. We're not going to get there until like an hour before it closes because we have to film this first.
Oh, God.
And then we're going to walk in and they're just going to be like, now you do pre-register.
So they know we're coming.
They know we're coming, but they hate to see it.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay.
Allison's currently re-duct taping her project.
So this is Elenor Rigby by Blackbird Designs. It's stitched on 40 count. Prehistoric by Fox and Rabbit. It's stitched with all of the called for DMC. It is framed by me.
It looks great.
Very well.
No, it looks great.
It's centered. Yeah, it's centered better than I had imagined it being. It's duct taped.
Oh, I see. It's just slightly.
It didn't have a hanger at all, and I couldn't fit the back of it back on.
I like the hanger you gave it.
So I gave it a hanger.
Yeah, the fitting the backs back on, even when you take out the glass.
Even without, none of mine have glass in them.
Okay, actually, this is the one that I struggled with. Also had this kind.
Yeah.
Okay, so see this kind. Sometimes I can get them to
it's
fit
the
back
metal
in,
that you just
but
push.
sometimes I can't get them back in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, I don't know what's going. I don't remember
How is that in there?
I might be glued.
Oh.
I don't remember. Anyway, the kind that like pull over, they give you a little, so if it doesn't quite fit, you can kind of prop them up and really cram it into place. Mm-hmm. So that's something I am going to be, when I'm looking at frames at thrift stores, I'm going to be looking more like, because I used to look like, do they have a hanger? Mm-hmm. Because our safe air, the rules just say like it needs to be ready to go on the wall. And there are shelves, so some things so our goal was to do as many things to hang as possible, but there are a few where they just aren't. But yeah, if you don't have the leaner and you don't have it like, but I am now not banning, but I'm going to be very skeptical about ones like that, or just know I can't finish it myself.
You can't do it, yeah. But what else?
You did it with the DMC?
Yep, all call for DMC. The little Elenor Rigby is one over one. That was hard on 40 count, so I'm proud of this one.
Looks so good.
Thank you. I am proud of it. This was part of a sal that Stephanie and I did with your friend Julie, or our friend Julie.
I was like,
I don't know why I said that. She's my friend too.
You guys are in the Packer Backers.
We're also
club
Packer
together.
Backers friends too. Yeah, we're friends.
You talk to her actually more than I do right now.
What else? I think that's it.
It looks so good. It looks so good.
I originally wanted to put it in a pillow. I ended up doing everything in frames for the fair.
That happened to me too, and I know also now that they're in frames, they're not coming out.
Yeah.
So next
it
year,
looks good in the frame.
Next year, I need to be like, if I want to do a pillow, I want to do the hanger on the pillow.
Yeah.
So I need to do it myself, really.
Yeah.
And also, I found a I found a used sewing machine that I might be getting on Tuesday. It depends if it's still there. Because I went to a cash only thrift store. I didn't have $45, and I was like, well, let me think about it anyway. But I do really want it, and they said it works. And this is the kind of thrift store that wouldn't say it worked if it didn't work.
Yeah.
And even if it's $45, if I need to get it fixed at some point,
there's a store in Oakland.
yeah, that's really good. No, although I can't show my face in there, but we talked about that.
I will take it. That's a funny story. I don't remember if we told that story or not. That's funny. Random. Some guy came up to me at Starbucks when I was stitching and goes, "That's cross stitch." And I go, "Yeah." It was a guy, so that never happens. I was like, "Yeah, it's cross stitch." He's like, my wife does that. Do you also quilt?" And I was like, "No, but that would be interesting." She's like, "Well, I know a long armor."
And did you get his number?
I did not get his number, but he sees me there all the time, so I might grab him.
Gentlemen, if you want to hit on somebody who's doing fiber arts in public, just tell them you know a long armor who doesn't charge very much.
His wife uses her. She's great.
How sweet though that he's like listening to that.
Very
I don't know if my
nice.
husband. Well, my husband doesn't. He's supportive of the cross stitch. He's not super supportive of quilting because of his background of people having to use sewing clothes as a way of life and not as an art, and I'm just trying to respect that. But I did tell him I want to get a sewing machine. But I think when he sees actually using it for things, he'll get it more.
Well, and you make Molly clothes, make Jordan clothes. Like you can do those.
I mean, I can do those things.
I used to make my own clothes,
but I'll make blankets and stuff and quilts. And I bought a fat. This video is so off the rails. I bought a fat quarter bundle of the. I don't know if it was Jane Austen or Pride and Prejudice specific fabrics from that were out last year. And I just was like, I'm not ready to make that into a quilt, but one day I will make those into a quilt for our bedroom.
Yeah.
And so once I get some, eventually I won't make the Jane Austen quilt because it's crazy diamond shaped quilt. But I would love just to make a basic quilt, but with those beautiful fabrics. And for myself, know that they're Pride and Prejudice and Jane Austen, and he'll just be like, oh, my wife made a quilt.
Yeah.
It's brownish.
Okay, men are weird.
Well, his mom used to sell clothes that she made, jerseys and stuff. Yeah. And so I get it, that it's I'm not trying to cosplay.
No.
But it's if you grow up and your mom is sewing clothes to give to sell to people for sustenance, that's very different than
You could make blankets to give to the infant crisis center.
That's true.
And there's
a lot of good things
you could do. Yeah. There's some good things.
What do they want some cross stitch?
They do. Dude, I have one of our volunteers, this is so random. One of our volunteers also volunteers for the Infant Crisis Center, and they collect all kinds of things for the babies' rooms.
Oh.
So, yeah. We could find a place.
Okay, so Cam Eccles, who does, now she does Stitch With Me's that are it's called Cam Eccles' Stitching. Mm-hmm. And she used to do a different channel that I loved, but I love these two.
Yeah.
And if you just want to watch an almost wordless Stitch With Me, go check her out because she gets really relaxing music, and it really is more of ambiance plus stitching. But she says she saves stitches for hospitals and stuff, and it's okay, well, when I see baby themed stitches, I will save them and give them to them, because I don't save them because I'm what am I going to do with them?
Right, no, but they really do go and talk about this.
We're going to keep this in because we don't really know where today's going.
There are many charities, just so you know, there are many charities who would love things like that, for the homeless people who don't have anything.
We should do an extra about it.
Okay, let's do an extra about it. Anyway, that's enough of that one.
That was Elenor Rigby for the Fab Four fan sale, which we never got to.
Oh yeah, also, and Sarah Stitchy Spies is doing the
BBD Magical Mystery Tour sale, and I have 2 of the ones that is a whip. I have 1 as a finish. I'm trying to do all 6. You may.
I may do one more, but probably not all of
Okay.
them. I like the long and winding road, which
Yeah.
I
haven't done it yet. No, I have all of
Oh,
them.
you have
I
that
haven't
one?
done it.
Okay, I might borrow that one.
Okay. I want to do all of them, and then, but I was thinking when I'm done with all of them, and you're done with the ones you want to do, we could do a finish parade just for that
yeah,
series. That would be kind of fun.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
Reset.
Okay. I'm just gonna grab something randomly. Dun, 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 dun. Museum quality quilt batting.
Dude, I was out in the
professionally framed. This is Darling Starling by Modern Folk Embroidery. It ghosts the green.
Yeah.
Ghosts a lot. It doesn't ghost as much in person. It ghosts a little in person. It's not super like poppy, but you can tell that it's there. Whereas on the camera, you can't really sometimes tell.
Yeah.
But it was my first time picking my own colors, and I learned some lessons. But I still love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I changed the initials to the initials of our family. And I did this for Sampler September last year.
That's really good.
And I was the first time using metallics. I put metallics in the little holes in the birds, and that's where I learned some lessons about metallics. But I do love it.
Yeah, I love it.
And I did get it.
And I do love that frame.
It's on, so Darling Starling is like a little Modern Folk embroidery piece that people were doing last year. I did it on 28 count baked clay by Fox and Rabbit, and then you pick your own 2 colors. I don't know if I could go back, I would pick different colors, but I don't hate the colors I have.
I don't hate it. It is almost impossible to see the green on TV.
No,
but
and in person you can see it, but you can't see like it very deep. Well,
it looks fine in person. In person, I can see it. It's gorgeous. The colors are beautiful.
you just have to look.
You just have to look at it
Because you don't realize how green tinted this baked clay is until you put green on top of it, and you're like, it's a little tone on tone, which you would not expect.
Yeah.
But I think it looks fine.
It does. It looks great.
But I like it. So anyway, I did get that professionally framed. And this is I'm entering this in the small, we're both entering your Elenor Rigby and this are going in the small sampler category.
Good. I don't remember. We did this weeks ago where we picked a category.
Well, and I did it on my computer and I kind of just was like.
You were like, I'm putting it here.
here are the category options. Because also there's so many that you can't, like, we're not picking categories based on what we think might win because you just really can't. Also, like, other people.
Also, we're not in it to win it.
We're not.
we're
We
in
just
it
want
to be there.
We just want to do as many. Last year we each entered one thing because that's how many we could.
Yeah.
And we just want to do as many as possible now.
Yeah. We just want to be a part of it.
That's right.
Okay. So we're randomly picking out. Oh, Cornelius. Another one I did about a year ago.
I can't remember if he's an animal or if he's in the linen category, but.
I don't remember.
Because there's a category like that's non-Ada, and Allison has fewer things to pick from for that category because she doesn't like prefer to stitch on fabrics in our Ada. So I can't remember what.
So this is 32 count Witchell.
It's 32. No. This is like an Irish DMC Charles Craft linen that got in that Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, okay. Then my witch is on.
Yeah. It's not as bad as the Witchell, actually.
This is a Lori Holt pattern. I know
in my head, I actually go, like, it's Weiger-based linens, DMC, Charles Craft linens, before I would do a Witchell. Yeah.
All Cop 4 DMC. And I got it professionally framed, so that's why it looks great.
It goes go in our kitchen.
And it's been hanging in my kitchen for a year. It looks perfect. Yeah.
I think he's in the animal category, but he might be in the linen category.
I don't remember.
One of the two.
But he's a Lori Holt pattern. It was one of the chicken of the month. In the original pattern, there's a little chickadee right here, but I thought one chicken household would be enough.
I do have this kitted up, and I will be doing it with the chicken, but not with the name, because they also have the name as like an
Are you going to do 2 little chicks?
Maybe.
You should do 2 chicks. That'd be cute. Very fun. I love this piece. It was so fun to stitch. First time stitching on linen, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because this was like you started this before.
Or something like
you might have finished it right before we started Flosstube even,
Maybe.
but like got it FFO'd in our first or second one. Because I feel like you got it and you did it in like 2 days.
I did. I stitched up real quick because I loved it.
And you were still mostly a monogamy stitcher when you got it.
Yeah. Very good. So that's why that one was amazing. Professionally done.
Oh, speaking of opposites.
Okay.
Okay, I felt bad because when I posted how cool this frame on Instagram, people were like, "Oh, the frames are cool," and I wanted to be like, "Okay, but it's okay." So this is Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Charlie is from a Pioneer Woman kit I got at the
Pioneer
Goodwill.
Woman.
No, I got it at the Salvation Army for $5. Pioneer Woman's very Oklahoma, but the phrase said, "A home without a dog is just a house," and it was supposed to go in a hoop finish. They give you the pretty hoop. And I just didn't want that phrase, mostly because Charlie has passed away.
Charlie has passed.
This was the Pioneer Woman's real dog. And our dog is like 16, so I didn't want to deal with that. So I found this at the ERC, a local charity shop, for $3. It's like plasticky, but it looks great.
It looks amazing.
And I knew it would match. Allison gave me beads, which I actually need to give you. They're here somewhere.
Okay, good. Those are expensive.
Because the French knots that I did, my son referred to them as googly eyes.
Oh, okay.
My 4-year-old. Oh, he has googly eyes. So I put beads over the eyes, but I did not enjoy the beading enough to continue.
So is that the first time you've used beads?
And hated every single second of it.
Did you watch a video before you did it?
No, and I also didn't put it in a hoop. I was doing beads in hand, so I knew it was on me, but I just didn't want to be doing it. I was like, I don't want to spend 4 hours to put some beads on here to make it look that much better.
It would have taken me 30 seconds.
My son is... No, this is in the small animals category. It's not winning, but it is a small animal, so it is interesting. I do think the frame looks great. It doesn't have a hanger, so this is a leaner. But I was like, it looks good. And my son is actually very excited to have this in his room when he gets back. So it's actually not like
that's perfect.
A waste. And it's supposed to have a million French knots on it. I actually started it to practice French knots and just did 2 and was like, nope, not doing those. So, but I do actually, the framing of it was actually pretty easy. It's forging out white Ada that came in the kit. It's all kit floss. The only thing that's not kit floss are the beads, obviously. And then I did, I put it on foam board with quilt backing, which you can see the quilt backing peeking out. But I feel like this is a good one for Jordan to have too, because like if he messes it up or plays with it, I will not care. So he can have fun with the experience of having stitching in his room before he gets anything that's like a real present.
That's so cute. I'm so glad he wants it.
So that's Charlie.
Yay, for you, Charlie. Okay. Random. I feel like I've been looking at these so much that I'm like, you've already seen these recently.
No, but
I've seen them.
Because like Charlie hasn't come out since our first Flosstube. Because I finished him on the first Flosstube. He was a finish, I think.
Okay. All right, I'll do this one next. This is a Mill Hill kit, but I did it on Ada.
I love this guy.
And turned it into an ornament. And Stephanie did the ribbons for me. It is Mill Hill kit, traditional Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And
you got it because of that
little raggedy end all right there. I have one. I love it so much. Growing up, she was my little comfort doll. So it means a lot to me. Beading this was so much fun. You should try it the right way.
We'll see the right way.
The right way.
Not the just made up.
Not the rush, this sucks kind of way.
Yeah.
It's on just Christmas red Ada, 14 count. Turned into this little ornament. And I love it.
I love this. I got the same Ada for our project.
I'm so glad I kept going because on the perforated paper, I was ready to throw it away and never do it again.
We have said,
and now I bought 2 Mill Hill kits since then.
We have said we're not a perforated paper, perforated paper people, but you did say you were going to try it again.
I will try it again.
Are you going to get one of those frames from Ukraine, the like magnetic frames?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah,
I could see you liking that. Yeah, I'm surprised you were considering purchasing something, but I am excited if you
because if I would only do it when I'm ready to stitch it.
But aren't you going to stitch that
the football
one like this week?
Well, I was gonna start with Sooner Santa.
Oh, okay.
And then maybe if I feel like beading during games. I don't know.
Is the football like totally 100% beads?
I don't know if it's 100% beads.
There are some that are 100% beads.
It might be 100% beads.
I don't know. I don't remember. But
I definitely want to get it done, but I don't know if I want to concentrate on beading and watching football. That might be too difficult. But we'll figure it out.
Well, I'll show. Oh wait, you already said. Okay, I will show an ornament in the back too. So this ornament is finished, but it's not going in the fair.
And I used, I have to say this, I used Pfeiffer's finishing around tutorial.
And you bought like a thing to do the cutouts for it.
And yeah, I have a circle template that I...
Allison finished all the ornaments. I voted all the ornaments, even mine, with that tutorial. So I have 4 from this series, and only one of them is going in the fair because it'd be insane to enter. You can only enter 2 ornaments. It'd be insane to enter like practically identical ornaments. So the ones that are not going in the fair, I didn't put a holder on because Allison's actually going to sew it in, which is technically the correct way, but we kind of forgot about
that part.
So we hot glued the ones that are going in the fair so they can be displayed.
Yeah.
And then, but the ones that are not, she's gonna just sew up later.
So they're hot glued in the back, but they should have been sewn in between the 2 pieces.
But we can fix that later.
I'll fix it.
Anyway, so this is one of the. I have 4 of these, but I'm gonna show them separately because they're all glorious. So this is
cute.
Winter Birds. I think this is Winter Bird's Blue Jay by Alforest Embroidery. Now, if you watch the channel, you probably know I do a lot of Alforest with the thread packs, but I didn't get the thread pack for these guys. So these are just the DMC suggested colors, which, considering how small they are and how little variegation you would see in such small areas, I think was actually like great.
That was a good choice, yeah. I think it would have been a waste. That would have been a waste of beautiful variegation.
Yeah. And like you'd have to buy I couldn't have done it because I would have had to do another order. I am going to do another order soon. Just like, I have to tell her that I'm ordering with Ashlyn so we can split the cost. And then when it gets in, I'm going to go up to where she is because there's a state park I want to cover for my Oklahoma travel website.
Cool.
And so it's like, I need to tell her what I want to get. Allison just picked out this coordinating fabric, which I think looks great with it. So they're like winter birds, but they're obviously ornaments, and the way Alforest has done them as ornaments. But I love that it's not like a super Christmassy feel. So if you wanted to hang it up, other times you could.
It's winter, not Christmas.
It's the fabric is 14 count Ada by Witch's Garden Crafts. It's called Grimoire. And I think it looks really good for these. And I did 4, there's 8 ornaments. I did 4 last year. I don't know if I'm going to do any this year because I think next year I'm going to do a Whipco board that is Jingle Ball ornaments because I bought the 2 ornament books for the Jingle Ball and we're going back to the Jingle Ball this year.
Yeah.
The Jingle Ball is hosted by Lindy Stitches. It's super fun.
Oh, I can't
and I'll probably buy, if there's another ornament book, I'll buy that one. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know how many ornaments I want to do this December, if I'm going to do 2 ornaments a month next year, but we'll see. But I am going to finish them. I have all the fabric saved to finish them, and you guys will get to see the other 3 randomly. Probably 2 more. 2 on this video, 2 on the next video. Okay.
Next.
Oh,
I love this one. This is my most like professional looking one.
because I framed it, but it's
She framed it, but
this size
look at
full
this.
coverage. 4x6 full coverage is the easiest frame job. It's so easy that it will make you very overconfident that you can frame other things, and then find out later that you wish you
wait,
didn't.
it's
But
really hard.
this size
But it
looks so good.
It looks so good. This is Medina's Gate. Stephanie designed this. So
This is from the Cross-Stitch of Ice and Fire book that is Game of Thrones filming locations. And you did such a good job.
That looks so good. It looks so good. And I don't remember what category it is, but it's stitched on 16
outside, I think.
Oh, that makes sense.
Small outside.
Small outside. Excuse me. 16 count gridded Ada.
And this hangs in my office all the time because she gave it to me.
Yeah.
So
it was for her.
I already know it looks fabulous when it's on the wall.
So I'm really proud of that one. That looks great.
It is just such a testament to a full coverage. It's so funny that like you'll just be stitching beige or green or blue and you'll be like, or yellow, and you'll be like, this is nothing. And then it's all of a sudden it just is something.
It's a picture.
So it looks so good.
great.
And that is just a thrift store frame.
And it's all the called for DMC.
But the thrift store frame, if you are a Game of Thrones person, you might notice it's kind of a Lannister red and gold or a Targaryen red, depending on which era you're more into. Oh, this is another one of mine.
Yay.
So this is Iceland #1, Reynisfjara Black Sand Beach. This is a scene in Iceland, and I didn't do it for that book. I did it before, but then this actually inspired that book because this is a place in Iceland that I just went to, and all of my patterns are based on my travel photography, and so I just turned this into a pattern. But then when I was making the pattern sheet about it, I was like, oh, it's a filming location for Game of Thrones, and then I was like, I've been to a lot of those. So it is in the Cross Stitch of Iris and Fire book, but it is also a standalone pattern, and I did 2 colorways of this. There's another colorway that makes it a 4x6 like that one. This is like smaller than that. This is only like 8 colors. And the other colorway has like 30 or 40 colors, so that it's like a lot more detailed. But this was like, I love it. So when you're standing on this beach and you look south, this is on the south coast of Allison. If you look over the water south, there's no land between you and Antarctica, which is just crazy.
That's crazy.
And I got this professionally framed because it was one of the first patterns I released, so I wasn't like, also because I didn't make it a 4x6, I didn't know how important that was yet. It was like I wasn't framing this.
Yeah.
But
it looks great.
Yeah, so it's professionally framed. This is going in the
outdoor.
No, I think it's going like in other, because all the outdoor category I saved for my favorite ones. So, and like the self-charted. So my patterns I did myself are mostly going in the self-charted, outdoor, and then I think I put this one in other because I had so many of them I couldn't do them all. And this is probably the one that's like the least technically good because it's like,
it's good. It's just not.
There's all the other ones are so much more detailed.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I also have this one. Wipe the dust off. I also have this one professionally framed.
This one's so good. This is also a Jingle Ball exclusive.
It says a Jingle Ball exclusive. That's right. This is Holiday Glow.
Satsuma Street.
Yes, Satsuma Street. Holiday Glow. I got it at the Jingle Ball.
And it's on the same Ada, right? As that.
Same Christmas red Ada. 14 count. Is it 14 count?
It doesn't look
It does not look 14 count, does it?
Looks 16 count.
Maybe it's 16 count. In fact, it is 16 count.
Okay.
It's 16 count. I misspoke. So is the Christmas tree. So yeah, all code for DMC with metallics that I don't think I know I didn't buy whatever they wanted me to buy. It's just DMC's metallics.
Did you watch Stitching by the Shore this week?
Yeah.
Laura said that, like, she was showing a picture, like, this is the first time I ever got the called for fabric. And it was like a bright, I was like, yeah, Allison is very much like, this is the first, I'm not going to get your called for.
No, called for. I try, sometimes
You'll get a called for DMC, but you're not
I'm not going to get
You're not getting 1 or 2, or 30.
Or 30, yeah, for sure not. But this one was a lot of fun to stitch. It's got so much dust on it. I stitched this one for me and my husband's anniversary last year.
It looks so good.
So,
because their Two Turtle Doves is December 26th, the second day of Christmas. The first day of Christmas is Christmas, right? That's their, so the Two Turtle Doves holiday, like, is on there.
That's my anniversary,
which is so cute.
Yeah. Got it professionally framed.
Next year, let's get a lint roller right before we go to the state.
I know. My house has cats.
Well, it's like anything we just finished is wonky, but anything that's been on the wall is dusty. Like, I'm just like getting dust off my pictures.
Yeah, because I finished this like with January.
You finished it it's been out for a long
December.
Time. Oh, when she took it to the framer, it came back like this.
Way off center.
Where it was like, you know, people tell horror stories about like craft store framing.
Yeah.
It was like this wide, but this was in the same spot. It was so crazy.
Way off center. So that was the first and only time that
they did fix it. Yeah.
That has come back wonky, and he fixed it no problem.
Yeah.
So.
But it was wild.
It was bad. And I didn't notice until I got home because I was just so excited. I was like, great, it's back, it's done. And I got home and I looked at it and I was like, that is way off center. That was way off center. So this looks so much better. But I love it. Oh, it's so cute. It's been hanging in my bedroom all year. Okay.
All right.
Next.
I'll do another one of my Alforus winter birds. So this is Nuthatch. I think this is the one I stitched for Julian Stitches. No, I did Titmouse for hers. This is Nuthatch. But they're all in the same fabric and they all have the same
very cute
finishing and everything. So, and we'll get their hanger.
They'll get their hangers.
All right.
Okay. Cinderella No.1 by Brook's Books. I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
I framed it myself, so it's, you know, it's
Framed
what
it looks
is.
good.
It's pretty good.
It looks really good.
It's pretty good. All called for. Nope. Okay, I changed everything on this.
Nope.
dress. Nope. It wanted like 5 different Krynics, and I was not gonna go buy 5 different Krynics, so I substituted all DMC. And then for beading, it called for some beads. I didn't buy those beads. I used beads I already had, and I only beaded the top of the dress. There are beads throughout the dress. I left those off. And then the stool next to it is a freebie that's not part of the design, but it's an extra little freebie that, was it her or someone else?
Pinkie the Pink.
Pinkie the Pink designed small little freebies for all the accessories of Brook
There's
books.
like roll cut here, and I'm just trying to get it out.
It's fine. She designed freebies for all of the books patterns that have little accessories, like there's also like a crown that you could put on a
so
shelf.
cute.
I didn't do that one. I just left the crown
I think
on.
the shoe is so cute though.
It looks perfect.
Also, we did this as interior because there's like a figures, but this isn't a figure. It's just an empty dress.
It's just a dress.
But there's one that's interior, and because it's here, I was like, oh, it's obviously like her room.
Sure. Obviously.
I love it. It's so
Thank
good.
you. I love it. I'm excited to put this one on the wall. I'm eventually going to have a princess wall in my craft room. I say craft room. It's currently a cat room and a dog room.
It's right now it's kennel, but it will be a craft room.
It will
one day.
be a craft room someday. And that's where we'll go.
All right. This is the Paris Olympics freebie by Histories de Lynn that was only available for a few hours. I don't know exactly why, but probably no longer available. I know you're like, that's so small. You're entering that in the state fair. There's a category that's words and phrases, and I don't do a lot of stitching like that, so I just went ahead and decided to enter it because, like, it is the word Paris 2024.
That's
so
Paris.
it counts. And this is a craft store frame I bought for something else that didn't work out for that thing, but it worked for this great.
It looks perfect.
And what I mean by earlier, like the ones that were fold over were hard, but these could be kind of jimmied. Like this really didn't want to go in there, but it did go in. Whereas like I was able to just kind of like squish it down.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the fold over ones just aren't long enough to hold it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is on 40 count maple sugar by like Sam Linen, just like a little scrap of it. The Histories de Lynn called for Histories de Lynn floss because they're like a French floss dyer. So I just picked DMC that I thought like were muted in this, not muted, but like were, I don't know what the term for these are, but we're like, you know, had the similar tones as that, and that French flag on the 2024 or whatever one. So I really like it, and I thought I was going to turn this into a pillow, but now that it's in this frame, it just will stay in the frame.
Just stay,
because it looks good in this frame.
Great.
So, and like, what else am I going to do that like?
Yeah.
And it's finished with quilt batting on the foam board, and I think it looks great.
It does.
Like,
it's good.
so
It's a good one.
I love it. Okay.
All right. Next, let's keep going with Cinderella theme. This is Cinderella by the Little Stitcher.
Oh, this one's good.
And I framed it myself. That's why it's kind of wavy.
Is it?
Yeah, the top is a little wavy.
Are you going to get this one reframed later because this is such an important one to you?
I don't know. Maybe
We'll find out.
I might just try and reframe it myself.
Yeah.
Like just straighten it out.
Or in a smaller frame.
And
if you
yeah,
find a smaller
definitely
frame
a smaller
later.
frame, yeah. Because like a little up here, a lot down here. Could not center it to save my life.
I like this backing though. I have, you guys will see when you see on the next video, you'll see the crazy. I have one
Yeah.
that back is just duct tape.
Yeah. In fact, I had to glue this on. I think I might have glued it on upside down. Did I? Is it upside down?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think maybe. And also, yeah, I think so. Oh, because no, I just we'll find out.
Okay. They'll say something that they won't.
We'll find out.
I had to glue a hanger on top of it. Thrifted frame.
I like the frame and I like the piece in the frame. It's rough.
So big and it's so wobbly.
I do think a smaller frame would do this piece better, but
Absolutely.
when you get it home, you can find a smaller frame
Yeah.
for it.
This is
and then you
temporary.
can use this frame for something else.
Yeah, this is temporary for show. But it was a lot of fun to stitch. I love these colors. I'm thinking of using these colors more in my decor in that room. I like the orange in there.
If you really like it in this frame, I would just take it in and pay
Have
the
it
$25 to have them.
Center it.
Yeah, it's a lot less than custom framing.
The thing is, we don't have to talk about it now, but I don't think I had enough room to center it.
Oh.
I think.
That happened to me way more than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It is rough.
It's hard, dude.
It's like you really need to know what frame you. This is what my goal is to have like a pile of custom frames, kind of know which one I want to use, and then measure the frame before I measure my fabric.
Way too much pre-planning.
Yeah.
I'm not
You
never
won't
gonna
be
do
doing that,
No. What else? 18 count rustica. DMC. All DMC. Don't know if it's called for. Probably called for.
Do you know the measurements of this?
I do not.
Oh well,
There are beads.
The
but
nice
they're
thing
not
about doing
called
this now
for
is
beads.
like we have to get in the car when we're done and drive. So it is what it is,
Yeah.
and then we'll figure it out later. But I love that piece.
Thank you. Thank you. That's good.
All
All right. It's like Christmas. There's so many presents.
No. Oh, okay. So this is also from Cross-Stitch Ice and Fire, but see how the frame is the same as the Pina Palace frame? So this is the Dark Hedges #1, which is the King's Road that they used in Game of Thrones. They
It looks good.
and there are no color blocks in this entire thing. So stitching this, I did get to feel a little bit dizzy by the end, but it looks so good, and it's been on my wall since we moved,
Yeah, it looks great.
and it looks so good. This doesn't have quilt batting under it, and I'm not taking it out, but I do like how the quilt batting looks under the full coverage better than just having it by itself. So I will be using quilt batting going forward, but
Yeah,
I love it.
looks great.
But I think it is wild that these two, like, because we live in a town where there is a major craft store headquartered, a lot of that stuff from those stores make it
Is
to our
that,
thrift stores.
yeah.
And if you don't want to shop at that store, buying stuff and the thrift store is very like simple, but doesn't it's the economics principle is basically like dollar votes. If you're buying something on the secondhand market, it doesn't go back to that store, but you will find it in all of our thrift stores, and it's just like unavoidable. But so it's funny when I find something that I'm like, oh, this must be from that store.
I think a lot of mine are from that stuff.
Yeah, because
yeah.
they just like our secondhand market, like it's just flooded with it, and
They're headquartered here.
so you're not gonna avoid it
Yeah.
in a secondhand craft situation.
Yeah.
But if you're worried about shopping from them directly, buying secondhand stuff does not go to them. So I think they must have been from there because they just match, which is so funny.
This is Mia Mermaid. She is a freebie from Mirabilia. She is stitched on 16 count. I think it's called Seafoam. It's a printed fabric by Digistitchy, I think. And it's not the called for colors or beads. I picked those all on my own.
Look, my nails match this too.
So beautiful.
I posted last night on my video that my nails match my
Yeah, they
stitching.
did, yeah. I think it looks really good in this frame. I framed it myself, so it's really not great.
No, actually, it's one of those things where, like, last week I was like, oh, I see all the imperfections, and this week I don't, because the first time you see something, you're kind of, like, looking for them, and then after that, you just kind of get used to, like, so I think it looks great, and I wouldn't worry about changing anything.
Excellent. Well, I love this frame in it, and she was a lot of fun to stitch. I like the beads. I like the beads a lot. They're not the called for beads. They were craft store beads. Do not buy craft store beads. They are so expensive. That's just my little spiel. Because I feel bad because I was knocking Mill Hill beads for being expensive. They're not.
It looks so good.
It looks great.
That is in the small figures category,
Okay.
I believe.
Small figures. Anyway, she was so much fun to stitch. And now I can say I have a done Mirabilia. Fully beaded,
I don't.
totally framed, done.
Intended process and no done.
I have one in process now, and it will be done, and it will be professionally framed soon after it gets done, like immediately after it gets done.
All right, for my last one today, I will show one of the ornaments that's going in the fair. This is From Witch's Garden Crafts last year. She had a Yule Stitch-a-Long, and I decided not to do the whole thing, but I saw this piece done as an ornament, and the Stitch-a-Long was free. If you join her Facebook group, you can get the whole sampler. But I just did this piece of it, but she showed somebody model stitch just this by itself as an ornament, and I really liked that. So
cute.
It's on Dark and Stormy Even Weave by Witch's Garden Crafts, and Allison did the Mana Pfeiffer finishing, and then we forgot about the sewing them in, so we just hot glued a hanger to it.
Yeah.
And if it falls off, we'll then sew it. We'll see.
It's what it is right now.
This is entered in the other two ornaments I showed are not the ones I'm entering. This one is entered in the Christmas ornaments
I could
category.
stick a tack on the back. That would help.
No,
you.
it's fine.
Okay.
I think it will hang perfectly fine, and if they break this off, they can just lean it. It's not going to win Ornament of the Year. It's just, I entered.
We don't know. But yeah, we're not in it to win it. Let's just make that perfectly clear.
We're entering to enter and support fiber arts and cross stitch at the fair and have the fun of like displaying your work and stuff. Like,
yeah, it's all for the camaraderie, the community, and the friendships.
But it's not for
it's not for the ribbons.
No,
for sure. Okay, this is a freebie from Liz Matthews. It's her Merry Christmas piece. It is so adorable. Unfortunately, I had to frame it myself, and I did it's not centered.
I had one of these frames that I got in the thrift store. I hated it. I ended up not using it.
I love the other ones I framed. Yeah. I have 5 that are in this frame. They're great. They were easy.
I could not get it to stick in there.
It was so easy.
I had to quit.
But this one I could not get centered to save my life.
Yeah.
So I gave up. But it was really fun to stitch. I think I don't remember.
It's not
at
centered.
One DMC. I don't remember what color.
It's not centered at the cross, atop the cross at the same. But also, did you have fabric margin issues?
No, I just could not get it to be centered.
I think it looks so good. This is a freebie, right, on her website?
Yeah, on her website. And I really like it. And someone else just finished this. I think it was Catherine. Finished this for your birthday.
Yeah, and Rachel from Licking Floss took this and made a smaller version of it.
Okay.
For my birthday sal was like this in July. It was the Hello 40 B-Day sal. And it was for like any Liz Matthews pattern or whip, like start or whip. So some people did this one because it was free.
Yeah, this is a great one. I think it's so cute. When it gets back, I might attempt to re-center it one more time, but if it doesn't work, it's going up like this at Christmas.
That's the nice thing about holidays. So it's like, I don't have to look at it once a year.
Once a year, I'll be annoyed by how it's off-center. Oh well.
Okay, so we're gonna, that's about half of our whips. So I think, so we are going to end this video here, and then, so this is part 1 of our finished parade. Part 2 will come out a week from today, or a week from when this comes out, depending on when you're seeing it. If you made it to this point in the video,
we always do this.
Leave a checkmark emoji.
Oh yeah, done.
These are finishes.
Finished.
And most of these are FFO'd. In a way where...
all but one is FFO'd.
Yeah, so, yeah, so leave a checkmark emoji, and then if you're not subscribed and you want to see part 2 when it comes out, subscribe. It just means that it's free. It means our videos are in your subscription tab, and that's how I watch Flosstube. Go to my subscription tab and see who's there. I don't, because your home screen will serve you what they think you want, but also what's popular. But in my subscriptions are people I like more than what's always sometimes on my home screen. So.
Yeah, well, I do both.
If I'm really lazy.
If I'm looking for something.
If I turn it on and the home screen is the one I would watch first, then I will click it. But a lot of times it's not. Or for me, it's Baby Shark. And that's...
It's Baby Shark.
I can't...
You share your YouTube with someone else.
Yeah. So I go to my subscriptions tab. So there will be a tutorial this week. I'm going to do a little Q-Snap series for my house because we don't have time to film those today because we got to drive to the state fair. And Allison doesn't use Q-Snap, so I'm going to do all about Q-Snaps this week, and then next week we'll be loading Q-Snaps and stitching in them. So subscribe if you want to see those too. If you use Q-Snaps and you don't need the beginner tutorial help, we'd love if you watched it and gave tips.
Any advice?
So that for new stitchers.
Yeah.
And you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.